Hey guys, so I'm really excited to talk about this subject. I was sitting here thinking about what I want to write on tonight, and this idea that for me came up a couple days ago, and it's kind of been stuck with me since. Has really kind of captured my night tonight. So, and that was actually what I was going to write about, but I figured that I'd do a little talking on it. So a couple of days ago, I wrote this status on Facebook, and it went along the lines of, how being yourself is the best person that you can be. How, you're gonna get the most out of life if you spend time investing in, knowing who you are and being the best who you are, rather than being someone else. So, as I wrote the other night, I got to this point where I started thinking about this whole idea of self-actualization and self-discovery. So self-discovery was actually the subject of that writing, but it led to self-actualization, which they sort of tie hand in hand. So with self-discovery, for me, that is, like I said before, spending time investing in who you are, discovering who you are and what you're about and what drives you in life, the things that you're passionate about, the things that move you, those things that you really care deeply about. So, it's when you do that you really put yourself in a position to actually enjoy life. But when the word self-actualization hit me as I was writing the other night, it got me really excited because I found, to me, that I believe that is the key to not only, for me, for example, to reaching my objectives in life and to fulfill my purpose and reach fulfillment in life. It's not only something that applies to me. This applies to many other people, and many of you may have heard. Actually, I was talking to a friend of mine earlier today. She texted me while I was at work, and she mentioned the video the post that I had made. And she had mentioned Maslow's Hierarchy of Needs. I think I'm pronouncing his name right. He's either Maslow or Maslow, however you say it. So this is something that I've heard of years ago. Whether it was, I can't remember whether it was high school or perhaps my first semester of college, maybe during psychology or whatever class I was taking. But yeah, this hierarchy of needs, what it is, and I have it up on my laptop here. It's a representation of our needs, and it's depicted in a pyramid form in which at the bottom of the pyramid you have your basic needs, such as your things that you need to survive: food, water, a place to stay, all those sorts of things that we need that help us move forward on a day-to-day basis. And above that we have our safety needs, security needs, those, a feeling for security, and I guess that corresponds also with the home or whatever, where you're just you're not consumed in fear, or you're not very anxious about the things that are going on around you. And above that, we have this level that is referred to as the psychological needs, and I'm gonna have this on the screen so you'll be able to see this along with me. So that's belongingness and your love needs, your relationships, your friends. A step further is your esteem needs, and they show feelings of accomplishments. I guess you can tie that along with not feeling like you're simply just drifting in life, that you're actually accomplishing something. And above that is actually the stage that I want to talk about here, and that's self-actualization. And I have a couple of meanings or definitions that I've kind of found randomly online. And don't be so focused on the specific definition, because the whole point is what it is. So one definition of this is the achievement of one's full potential through creativity, independence, spontaneity, or however you say that. I botched that word. Excuse me. And the grasp of the real world. Not that last part is. I guess that applies. So one of the other definitions I have here is the need for personal growth and development that exists throughout your life. If you're actualize, you work hard to grow and become who you want to be in life and reach your full potential. I actually like that definition because it mentions becoming who you want to be, being who you want to be, and reaching your potential by being who you are. And that is the whole key that I believe for me is the key to happiness in life, the key to success and whatever you're doing is being who we are in the process and discovering who we are in the process. So the post that I had made the other night that really sort of shook me at that time was think about your mind in a way as you can see this telescope back here. I'm a real space fanatic. You may have seen in my other videos, the things I have on the pictures I have on my walls and everything. But so picture your mind as the universe. And I don't want to talk about anybody's beliefs or whatever. I respect everyone's beliefs. But just think about it this way. The whole Big Bang Theory, picture that as your mind. From the moment you're born, think of your mind as an expanding universe. So at that point in time, everything's moving so fast that you can't really get a grasp of everything that's happening around you. And if you think about that as a child, a lot of things in life you don't necessarily comprehend. But as you grow older, you begin to learn, you begin to grow. Now, if you know much about the expansion of the universe, you may know, or as it's theorized, that the expansion of the universe is slowing as time goes on. So think about that also. As time goes on, things are starting to slow down. You're starting to comprehend your environment. You're starting to comprehend emotions. You're starting to comprehend, everything that's going on around you. It makes sense. So compare your age as perhaps when you were 5 years old to when you were 10 years old, 20 years old, however old you are now. So you understand things a little bit better than you did at that younger age, that younger stage in your life. So as time goes on and as these things in your mind don't expand as much, you are able to capture them. The things that you pick up and see on a day-to-day basis and the emotions that you have, you're able to capture those and really think about them. So the people who actually spend time, just going deep into their mind and venturing out and not having that fear, as you can think of that as in, traveling through the universe to discover things, as mankind is uncovering things in the universe as well, perhaps through satellites and those sorts of things. But still, it's to me, it's a good representation of our discovery when we venture deep into our minds and we venture into ourselves to find out who we really are and what we're really passionate about and what really drives us. So when we spend time in our life to do that, and we spend time to discover ourselves, and we live our life connected to that, our identity, when we connect our passion to our identity, and those things go hand in hand. I think that is a major source of happiness. That's a major source of fulfillment in life, and that's a major source of achieving the things that you want to achieve in life. And guys, this is really my little take on it. But of course, there's no guarantee or anything. But I really believe that this sets us up for a great chance of actually finding that fulfillment in life. And like I said, I was really excited when I had come to this realization, because I think that is the one key that I needed for my life. So the reason that many people may not reach this state of self-actualization is because they don't spend time searching within themselves. And that's an important thing. I think you have to actually reach that point, or you actually have to tell yourself that you're going to try to discover who you are. The funny thing with me and throughout my experience is, I graduated high school back in 2010, and I like to say that during those years in college and, shortly afterwards, I spent a lot of that time searching for what my purpose was in life. And the funny thing is, I didn't necessarily know what this hierarchy of needs was. Like I said, I heard of it before when I was in, maybe my high school or early college. I heard of it before, but I never really had a reason to look further into it and understand it beyond, what a lecturer may have said. But the funny thing is, I think that through all that time, when I was in college and afterwards, when I was searching for my purpose, I think, that was the active side of things when I was searching for my purpose. But I think subconsciously, I was always looking to discover who I was. I just simply didn't know it. And I've reached this point where recently I know what my purpose is. And, I'm always trying to figure out how I'm going to achieve it, or, looking for ways to achieve it. But the whole discovery for me of self-actualization, it's a little bit funny because, as I said, I think that I've been searching for that subconsciously. I just didn't know it. But it's funny, the whole process, because that I'm just now getting to the point where I realized it. So looking back, I think that it took all this time for me to actually reach that point where I can say, hey, I'm going to seriously dig down and discover who I am. And that's the funny thing about it. So that I think that it's not one of those things that you can find quickly. I don't know how long it's going to take as I, search for it. And maybe I've already gotten really close to it, or maybe I'm really on the path of discovering and actualizing myself. But, you don't necessarily know how long that's going to take. I don't necessarily know how long it's going to take. And for many, it could take many years. Many of you may have realized it. Several of you may not have. But the thing is, you really have to get to that point to have a reason why you want to realize who you are. It has to have meaning to you. That's what I'm trying to say. It has to have meaning to you, because if it doesn't, you won't actively pursue it. You may think you want to pursue it, but you don't. And discovering that, you really have to dig down deep into your mind and discover those thoughts that are far out there, and actively pursue who it is that you are. Not necessarily who you want to be, but pursue who you are, and because you already who you are. A lot of us may have gotten altered by the environment. We may have gotten altered by our friends throughout time based on external factors, but deep down, we're still who we are. And that expansion of who we were from when we were born. I think that is what we should spend our time trying to, put those pieces back together, discover those pieces and make sense of them. And those are pieces of ourselves. That's how we self-actualize. So before this video gets out of hand, guys, that's really all I want to talk about. I really want you to take time and think about this whole idea of self-actualization and how it could very well be the difference between happiness for you and fulfillment, and continue on drifting, not necessarily knowing who you are. And this goes beyond simply saying, I think I know who I am, or this is who I am. Seriously, put some hours into it, put some days, years into it, and actively pursue who you are along the process of, trying to achieve, of course. So, that very well may be the key to your success and happiness and fulfillment in life. So guys, that's all I want to talk about. I hope that you've enjoyed this video. I hope it wasn't too long for you. If you're enjoying the content, I hope that you'll stick around for more. And I'd really like to hear your thoughts on this topic. So if you would, leave them in the comments. Stick around, and I'll see you later.